Recently, a client came to me and they were going to buy a few properties, putting money together to do so, and they had set up a limited by guarantee company. And they were going to use that vehicle to buy the first property. And I asked, why are you doing that? And her response was, well, we have shares and we are putting together this money so that we can own many properties together. I said, well, if you use a limited by guarantee company to buy your properties, you don't own those properties, because a limited by guarantee company is not a limited by shares company. That reminds me of quite a lot of non-for-profits, the way they set themselves up in the beginning. You know, I have a few non-for-profits that come to me after they have established maybe a CIC or a charity or a limited by guarantee company. And when I ask them, why did you set up a limited by guarantee company? They don't know. So in this video, I want to enlighten you, because the most important decision you need to make before starting your non-for-profit organization is to ask yourself this question: where is the money coming from? When you can answer that question, where your money will come from, that will then inform the structure you should set up. In other words, structure follows funding strategy. Your funding strategy will determine the kind of business structure you set up. All right. There are three main business structures that we set up in the UK anyway, mainly for non-for-profit or social enterprise organizations. They are, number one, a CIC, number two, a limited by guarantee company, and number three is a charity. Now, depending on how your money is going to come and where it's going to come from, that would determine which one of those three you set up. So let me talk to you about that for a moment. So this is what you need to consider. If primarily your funding is going to come by grants, then you should set up a charity. If you are going to receive social investment, which means some people want to put their money into a social business or a business that has an immense amount of social benefit to the public, if that's how they want to invest their money, then you should set up a CIC, limited by shares. Now, if you are thinking of a combination of maybe I might get some investment, I might get a loan, or I might get some funding, then you should set up a limited by guarantee company. In other words, if you go set up a limited liability CIC, for example, and there are 9 types of CICs, and if you look in any of on this page, you should find my video that talks about the 9 types of CICs, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. Again, if you're going to get grants, what you should be setting up really is a charity. If you're gonna receive investments for your social enterprise, which means somebody's going to give you money and they're going to want some interest, you should set up a CIC. Now, if you're going to do a little bit of both and you want to get paid whilst you're doing that, then you should set up a limited by guarantee company. The quickest one to set up, of course, is a limited by guarantee company, followed by a CIC. Then charity can take, it can take 45 days as it says on the website, or it can take 2 years. It just depends on what the charity commission is doing at that moment. Now, most skip this step. They're not thinking about where the money is going to come from. They bypass this step, and then when they get to the point where they're trying to either raise investment or they try to raise grants and they're having certain difficulties, is because you've not thought about this from the beginning. You need to think about it. Where's my money coming from? Then I'm going to decide on what I'm going to set up. So don't skip this step. Think about it first. Ask the question, where is my money coming from? In other words, this will help you to build with wisdom and so to also build with confidence. If you're thinking about how you can raise grants, well, we have a new enterprise now called the Funding Success Club. You can ask for more information. We'll send you more information on that so that you can join the Funding Success Club and have a better chance of getting grant funding. All right, see you in the next video.